All right, welcome back, Falcon fans. This is our virtual 2019-2020 Murray Middle School Athletic Awards show. You are watching this live on Facebook, June 2nd, 2020 at 7 p.m. We pre-recorded this, however, just because we didn't know what it would be like if we had 300 to 500 people on one Zoom. So we've pre-recorded this, but you guys are joining us live. We hope you enjoy what we have for you. We would like to thank our Silver Falcon sponsors, Mason Burr Family Medicine, Kennedy's Real Estate Service, Victory Awards and Trophies, Caronberry Real Estate School, Horton Iron and Metal, and Jimbo's Breakfast and Lunch House. We've had a wild year this year, guys. Take the good with the bad. We had 4 championship teams this year. All of those teams were undefeated. We had a record number of wins in football. We survived another hurricane in Dorian that moved some of our fall sports around this year. As always, we've had academic excellence from our student athletes. Our student athletes are community involved as always, whether it's polar plunging or bowling for good causes. Our student athletes are always there. And then, of course, the unfortunate COVID-19 pandemic, which postponed spring sports twice until it was ultimately canceled in mid-April. But we're here. We're here to celebrate you guys. We wanted to do this regardless of the pandemic because you guys mean a lot to Murray and you mean a lot to us. We're going to start and we're going to turn it over to our cheer coach, Miss Ginger Turner.
Hey guys, so I'd first like to thank my assistant coach, Christina Gunther. She has been such an amazing coach and we've worked together for several years and we just have so much fun together. I'd also like to thank Coach Hager for all of his support for our cheerleaders. He goes to all of our competitions and gives us pep talks and just really shows his support for everything that we do. I wanted to mention that this year was the year that the 8th graders, this is our 8th grade group of girls, were able to try out in 6th grade. It was the very first year that we allowed cheerleading in 6th grade. And so we do have some cheerleaders that made it all 3 years on the cheer squad, so I wanted to recognize them. We have Savannah Womble, Hannah Wiley, Kelsey Moore, and Maya Howard. They've been cheerleaders for us for 3 years now. Our first award is going to go to Savannah Clark. Savannah earns this award because she has a smile that won't quit on and off the floor. She constantly brings her best performance to the group. She was an outstanding member of the cheer squad this year. She's a problem solver whenever there's an issue with a stunt or performance, and she's willing to work with anyone who needs help. She always sheds light on the positives her teammates are doing. We are constantly blown away about her accomplishments and her motivation as a cheerleader. So she received the MVP award. Our next award goes to Hannah Wiley. She gets the Coach's Award. Hannah earns this award because she has always been a team player. She leaves all drama and worries at the door when she enters practice and puts the best interests of the team ahead of her needs. She never fails to bring a smile and good attitude to each practice, game, and competition. She is always loud and shows Murray spirit. Hannah lifts up every person she encounters, and not just because she's a fantastic back spot and base. She's hardworking and has a huge heart. She's a perfect role model to all. Then we have Most Improved, goes to Kendall Queen. Kendall has been on the squad for 2 years now, and she's very humble, caring, and kind athlete. She offers great ideas and unites our team. She's also very flexible in being either a base position and front spot for any stunt group that's missing a person for practices or games. This says a lot about how well she works with everyone and is willing to be put in any stunt group that needs someone and perform the stunts to the best of her ability. We can't say that about anyone really on the team except for her. So she got Most Improved. And last but not least, our Leadership Award goes to Kelsey Moore. Kelsey's been on the cheer squad for all 3 years. She's grown to be a confident and ambitious athlete. She's very hardworking and determined, especially with trying new stunts and creating dance routines. She's caring and exhibits strong leadership skills, such as listening to her teammates, holding everyone accountable, encouraging and motivating them to push themselves. Thank y'all so much for all your hard work this year.
All right. Thank you, Coach Turner and Coach Gunther. Girls, you did an amazing job this year. It is always a pleasure to watch you ladies perform. All right. Next, we're going to bring in Coach Ashley with football.
How's everyone doing? Hey, what a season this year. 5-2 record, best record in 17 years at Murray. When you have a season like this, there's a lot of people I feel like we need to thank. First, I'd like to thank the players for their hard work and dedication at practice every day, for the administration of being at all our games and showing their support, to our AD, Coach Hager, to our cheerleaders. You did a fantastic job making banners, supporting the players, keeping the crowd into it. Clock, scorekeepers, thank you to Mr. Sadler, Ms. Kidwell, Coach Gallion, and to the teachers also. Kids love seeing you come out there and support them. And finally, my coaches had to put up with me and the players from time to time. Thank you again to Coach Searfalls, Coach Crisanda, Coach Tribble, Coach Graham, and Coach Rizzo. So thank you to everyone. And I can't remember if I mentioned, but again, thank you, Ms. Turner and Ms. Gunther, to the cheerleaders. First award we have today is the MVP award. That goes to Cohen Locklear. Cohen was not our leading rusher. He wasn't our leading tackler, but man, he did everything else for us. He was calm. He was poised. Everyone knew he was in control. He held our huddle together. He called the right plays. He'd come over to me and say, hey, Coach Ashley, this play's not going to work. Can't do it. Let's try this. Just a phenomenal young man. And that's the reason our MVP goes to Cohen Locklear, because I truly believe he made everyone else better. Coach's award goes to Caleb Robles. He gets this award for many reasons. One being dealing Holly's shoulder game. He got hurt, came back a little later, and we wrapped him up. And I mean, I said to him, Caleb, Caleb, man, we're going to need this halfback pass. And sure enough, against Trask, he threw it. And I think Casey Gladden caught that, which ended up being our winning touchdown, which kind of sealed the, again, the best record in Murray history. Coach Myers Award. Coach Myers, this award is named after Charlie Myers. I had the privilege to coach with for 2 years. Unfortunately, we lost him back in 2016. But, man, he was a person of great integrity. It doesn't matter what kind of situation he was in, who he was with. He was always going to say the right thing, do the right thing. And I think Chase Pruitt reflects those same qualities. No matter where you put Chase, who he's around, the situation, he's always going to make the right decision and say the right things. My last award is the Leadership Award, and that goes to Logan Panett. This young man, you may hear all the time, never takes a play off. Well, this young man wouldn't take a play off even in practice. Hey, Coach Ashley, let me run that again. I didn't run that right. Whatever it may be, he just never took a play off. He was always positive. He always supported and encouraged his teammates. And that's the reason, again, Logan Panett gets the Leadership Award. Again, guys, great season. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing what you rising ninth graders can do at Ashley. Keep working hard, stay positive. You rising eighth graders, hey, we set the ball high. We got to go get it again this year. So make sure you're working out and everything. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Coach. And thank you, boys, for bringing back that Junction Bowl trophy to Murray, where hopefully it'll stay for a long time. All right. Next, we're going to bring in Coach Bennett for cross country.
So cross country was so much fun to coach this year. I have never thought kids could have so much fun running in 100-degree heat almost every day after school, but somehow they did. I'm also a firm believer that for someone to enjoy running, it needs to be fun and cannot feel like a necessity or a chore. With that being said, our season could not have gone any better. Neither the guys or the girls ended up losing a single race, but ended up getting stronger as the season went on. As the season progressed, we had multiple students step up and improve, and it never ceased to amaze me how hard these Murray Falcons worked out there. Thank you for a great season, runners, and thank you for being awesome as well, parents. And a big thanks to Miss Chrysanda for being an awesome assistant coach and for always being supportive and coming up with great ideas as well. Now, our first award will go to Isaiah Perry. Now, I could probably talk about this kid all day. Not only was he the fastest runner in the county by far, he was also probably the most compassionate kid I've ever met. He would finish every race and shake every kid's hand who came in after him and ask if he was doing okay. You don't see that all the time with kids. He also was the hardest worker at practice and set the bar for what it looks like to be great. So I had the pleasure of coaching someone who worked harder than anybody else, which is always nice. All right. Our next award goes to the silent but deadly Dylan Park. Now, this kid barely says a word, but he sets an example at practice by the way he runs. He was always following Isaiah, doing the right thing, but he also did other things that pushed himself further. I would ask them to go on long runs, and Dylan would take off, and he would come back an hour later, and he would not need he would have people follow him, but he did not need anyone else to tell him how hard to work. He set the tempo every day at practice, and people at the year went on, people respected him and followed him and emulated what he did more. So our next award, we're going to split in two because I had two runners who literally finished the exact same place throughout the year. Both of these women both got first place in a race, and they both finished in the top 10 in every race. Now, what I can say about them almost is the same thing for each other. They have a work ethic that cannot be paralleled. They work so hard, and they never, ever complain, ever. There was one race where Maris was sick, and she ran it without complaining. And the other one, we have Maris top number one. The other one is Caroline Furby. Now, Caroline got better as the year went on. I remember telling her after the first race, I said, Caroline, if you continue, you are going to win a race this year because she has one of the best strides I've ever seen of someone that age. And lo and behold, I think the third race, she won. So congratulations, ladies. You did a great job this year. Lastly, I want to thank everyone who ran for me and all the parents. I could not have asked for a better season. We had so much fun. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Coach Bennett. Thank you, kids, for an excellent undefeated season for the boys and the girls. And that's a pretty large team. We've got, I believe, close to 50 runners total.
50 runners total. That was it.
Yep. All right. Next, we're going to bring in Coach Duval and Coach Metter from Murray Falcon softball.
Cool. Thanks, Coach Hager. Like you said, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Coach Duval. This is my first year as head coach of the Murray girls softball team. And yeah, between hurricanes and all this, it was a crazy year for sure. It will be very memorable. As former league champs, though, last year I knew that there was a lot of expectation and the bar was set very high for this year. And we had a large, group, core group of girls that had moved on to the high school level of play. And to be successful, we needed a lot of our returning players to step up, and we needed new players. And I just want to say congratulations to our team. You guys did just that. You girls, stepped up, and we would not have had the successful season that we had without y'all doing that. I knew from game one that these girls were committed to one another and that we had a team that would fight every inning and that would, play their hearts out. And that's honestly all that I can ask for. So thank you again, ladies, for just a great season and a great experience, a great first experience as a head coach. I'll always remember this. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on to award time. So the first award that we would like to give out is the MVP. And that goes to Emmy Lee. And what to say about this year's MVP except for this girl can throw. I have never been so scared in my entire life as to have to sit in the catcher's box, set up, and have her throw to me. And I can only imagine that it was even worse for the opponents that had to face her this year. Anytime an opposing team has to develop a strategy about one player, that you have a special player, that you have a player that you can, build a successful team around. And that's what Emmy was for us this year. She was our player that we built that success around, and that, she was the one that got us rolling every game with just, setting these girls down strike after strike after strike. And I think that Metter may have run out of columns to record her strikeouts on multiple occasions. So Emmy, thank you for your brilliant performance this season, and I cannot wait to see you pitching at the high school level and beyond because you have that talent. So we'll move on to our next award, the Silver Slugger Award, and that goes to Peyton Francis. So while we had the defensive side covered with Emmy leading the way, we also had another leader that stepped up big on this team. And nowhere was that more evident than when this girl got to the plate. Her batting average was hovering around the 800 mark for the entire season. And when she put the ball into play, the other team was like terrified. When we needed hits, when we needed runs, this was the player number one. This is the player that I look for to get it done on the field. This girl also, she has one speed, and that's like 110 miles per hour. She just goes and goes and goes, gives it her all. And so, yeah, I think that it's extremely evident that this award is going to go to Peyton Francis. And thank you, Peyton, for your multiple years on the team of hard work. And we are going to miss you, and wherever you go, we know that you're going to be great. That brings up our defensive gym. Woo, woo, woo. Eliza Wood. This next award goes to a girl whose intensity and grit on the field was unmatched this year. And you have to have those characteristics when your job as the catcher is the toughest one out there. This girl would leave it all on the playing field every day, and she might even do one of those barks at you if she needed to, intimidate. This player was the other half of our winning, pitching combo. She set up brilliant frames. She kept girls scared on base with 2-inch leads, and she protected the base, like the home plate, like it was her actual home, not letting anybody get there that wasn't supposed to be there. Eliza, we truly depended on you this year, our defensive gym. Thank you for all the bruises and blocks that you endured this year. We were lucky to have you. And then our last award goes to Kylie Doyle. Our final award, again, is the most improved player. But again, saying most improved is a little bit of a misnomer here because when she came to tryouts, she was already like an extremely gifted player. She was fast. She could track down any fly ball basically that we hit her. She could steal bases and leave everybody, including myself. I'm not sure about Coach Metter, but including myself, in the dust. Like, she was faster than I know she was faster than me. But there was something even more impressive there, which is, anybody can kind of be good at the things that they're good at, but it takes a special player to work consistently at those weaknesses so hard that they actually turn into new strengths. And that's what Kylie did this year. We asked her to develop into this bunting role and to help get on base and to help get runs. And we relied on her in some very tough situations to get on base and to manufacture those runs, to move those runners around. And she did that all while continuing to be a dominant force in the outfield. And in case that wasn't all already impressive enough, this was her first year playing softball for Murray. So it's absolutely insane what this girl was able to accomplish in that short amount of time. So again, Kylie, you are a most improved player. Thank you for your hard work. You're a truly talented athlete, and you will go on to be great in whatever sport, because I know, she's good at multiple, you end up landing in. And then our final slide, I just wanted to wrap up by number one, thanking our team moms, Miss France and Miss Doyle. Y'all did a great job with the farewell baskets and the flowers. Thank you for an amazing day during that last home game. I'd also like to thank Coach Metter for all his hard work. Without him, number one, our fields would be unraked, our pitching machine uncalibrated, and our laughs unfulfilled. Thank you, Coach Metter. For being out there. I seriously could not do it without you. And then my last thank you, I know the wrap-up music is playing. I wanted to thank Coach Hager, our team dad. Thank you for driving us to the games. Thank you for lending us your coaching experience. And thank you for putting up with Coach Metter and I and all of our antics. Thank you. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, guys. Metter, did you want to add anything?
Sorry, I had to mute myself there. I mean, it was a fantastic season. I'm not gonna lie. It was, frustrating. It's always dealing with all the water on the field constantly, but for every bit of frustration there, you girls made it 110 times better anytime we were at practice, having a great time and getting work done at the same time. It's an awesome season.
All right, awesome. Let's see here. All right, next we have. All right, Murray boys basketball with Coach Bennett.
Guess what, guys? I'm back. All right. Well, basketball is a game of runs. 1 minute you're up 10, and the next minute the game is tied. Our first run of the season was a tough one. We struggled to put the ball in the basket, and we struggled on defense. But the second run was much better. We were cohesive. We moved the ball around and played some great defense. We found ourselves having much more fun and got back to enjoying the game of basketball. Now, I will say this, no matter the situation we were in, the team showed resiliency and never gave up or showed any sign of fear or submission throughout the season. So I'm so proud of these guys for never giving up, and I'm totally blessed to be able to coach them this year. And I also want to thanks to Coach Bob for helping out and banging these guys around in practice to make sure they were good to go on the paint. You were awesome this year. Now, our first award will go to Cohen Locklear. Once again, we have our leading scorer, our team general, our point guard, and the one who kept the team moving and was the one who was not afraid to say what needed to be said to his teammates, whether they weren't taking things seriously or the game wasn't going right. Cohen always had the cool head. And he wasn't only the MVP because he could score, but he literally was the team leader in and outside the locker room. Now, our next award will go to Nick Ferrier. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen him play basketball before, but this kid has a motor, and he's one of the better on-ball defenders I've ever seen at his age. And I give him the coach's award because I'd often tell him, hey, you've got the other team's main assignment, and your job is to frustrate him beyond any point of recognition. You're trying to get in his head. And he did it every single time and never complained. He just did it. So thank you, Nick. You had a great season. Our next award, I will also call the Dennis Rodman Award because Vincent Agrilla reminded me a little bit of Dennis Rodman. He was an undersized power forward, but as soon as the ball was in the air, he would get that rebound. And from the moment he tried out to the end of the season, if there was a chance to be on the floor, he was on the floor. He was as scrappy as a player you can ask for, and he's about as unselfish as a player you can ask for. So, Vincent, you had a great season. Thanks for all the effort you put in. And our last award will go to Jeffrey Polanco. Now, as Coach Duvall said, this one's kind of a misnomer because Jeffrey came in a very talented individual at basketball. He could put the ball in the net, but I think he struggled to trust his teammates and to trust people on the court. So as the season went on, we saw him become a better team player and trust his teammates to where he actually had a bunch of assists and became a very viable three-point shooter and almost helped us win a couple games. So thank you for all the hard work you put in this year, Jeffrey. It did not go unnoticed. Now, I want to thank you guys for sticking with me and for the basketball season. You guys did amazing, and thanks for being resilient. I want to thank Coach Hager here for driving us to the games and endless amount of advice he gave me, and it's been a great year. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Coach Bennett. Thank you, boys basketball. All right. Now we're going to be moving into Murray girls soccer with Coach Herman.
Hi, that slide looks nice. 13-0, perfect season. Love it. What an incredible group of ladies. Not only are they phenomenal athletes, but when you put that skill with the chemistry that this group had on the field, it was really impressive to watch. The fact that they worked together to make sure that all their teammates, including goalies, scored goals this season just shows the level of teamwork that we watched on the field each game. It's no wonder it's the first team I've coached to ever go undefeated and beat my rival, not our rival, not once but twice. Thank you again for a great season and bringing us home that trophy. Hope you all had as much fun as I did. For our first award, we'll go to the MVP. Anna Benfield is this year's MVP. Anna was fierce as our attacking center midfielder. As a stronghold on the attacking side of the field, she made it really difficult for the other team to even get the ball out of their defensive half. She created innumerable opportunities for goal scoring and is one of the most unselfish players I've ever seen on a soccer field. With assists in almost every game, if not every game, she was a key contributor to the fact that every player on our team scored a goal this season. And it was really a pleasure to coach her the last 2 years. So MVP, Anna Benfield. Next award is going to Maris Toppin for the Golden Cleat Award for most goals. I really wish I hadn't left my soccer binder at school because I want to count the number of goals she scored, because I wouldn't be surprised if it was double the number that anybody scored any year, or all of them combined. I don't even know. She is a force to be reckoned with on the soccer field. It's like there was this magnetic force between her and the goal. So if the ball was anywhere on our scoring half, we could count on Maris to get the ball and power to the goal. I'm really excited to see what the future has in store for her for whatever sport she ends up excelling in, because I feel like it's every single sport. So congrats to Maris on the Golden Cleat Award. Next is the Leadership Award. I don't pick a formal captain each year, but typically one player tends to step up and take on that role without having the formal title. That's a great picture, by the way, Hager. I saw it before, but so Maggie was this person this year. So she is always one to get the stretches started at the beginning of practice. She always had a motivational speech prepared for game time huddles. And even though we had a lot of fun this season, Maggie always knew when it was time to get the team focused, and they really listened to her when she said it's time to make things happen. She epitomizes the type of leadership you want in a central defender in the back, kind of controlling the field, and she really stood out this season. So Maggie is our Leadership Award recipient this season. And our last award is the Coaches Award. I don't even remember what position Mariah put on her tryout sign up, but I don't think it was center defense, which is where she really excels this season. I think almost every game, Coach Metter would come up to me and comment about how Mariah was just always in the right place at the right time. Her positive attitude just radiated on the field. I could put her in any position all over the field, and she would jump right in like she had played there all the time. She's a really versatile player, and she plays with such composure no matter what position we put her in. So I'll really miss having Mariah on the team next year, and she is our Coaches Award winner this year. And then before I pass it on, I just want to make sure I give a shout out to Coach Hager and parents and fans, and especially Coach Metter, who helped us out all season at practices and on the sidelines. And I seriously can't thank Coach Metter enough for all his help and insight this season. So thank you for a great season.
All right. Thank you, Coach Herman, Coach Metter. What a wonderful championship. I know it seems like 4 or 5 years in a row we went 10-2 with losses to Rolling Grice. Last year, I think we were like 10-1-1. But it was so good. So happy for all of you guys. And thanks to Miss Repke, who helped provide us with some of these awesome pictures. And parents, if you've got pictures that you think we haven't seen, feel free to post them to our Facebook page. Let's try to commemorate these kids as best we can. All right, now we are moving to Murray Boys Soccer with Coach Adam Procknell.
All right, thanks, Coach Hager. All right, the boys soccer team had another solid season this year. They finished with 6 wins, 2 losses, and 4 ties. I'd like to thank all the parents for their support this year, and especially those families who provided pregame and postgame snacks and drinks for the boys throughout the season. And I'd also like to thank Coach Hager for all that he does for Murray's athletic department. Our first award is going to go for our most valuable player. This year's most valuable player is Chris Patsalis. On game day, I could always count on Chris to play an intense physical brand of soccer that made the game difficult for opposing teams and their players. Chris excelled in the middle of the field for us this year. As a center mid, he battled all over the field and provided our team with an imposing force for the opposition to have to match up against. Whether other teams focused and worried about containing Chris, it allowed opportunities for his teammates to step up. I really enjoyed watching Chris grow from his 6th grade season all the way to his 8th grade year. It'll be fun to watch him over the next 4 years when he goes into high school. Congratulations, Chris. Our next award is the Golden Boot Award. This goes to our top goal scorer on the team. This year we had a tie in the amount of goals scored. Landon Tarkenton and Nick Sanatiempo both scored 4 goals apiece. They also provided a much-needed spark throughout the year for our offense. They could have a couple other goals, but some key saves by other goalies, some posts and crossbars got in their way, but they definitely provided that offense that we needed this year. So congratulations, Nick and Landon. Our Defensive Player of the Year. The Defensive Player of the Year goes to the defenseman who provides the greatest impact in the defensive zone throughout the season. This year, the award goes to Josh Jernigan. Josh was an anchor on our defense all season long. With Josh patrolling the defensive line, it made it extremely difficult for the other teams to get any sustained pressure in our zone. All season long, Josh led by example. Whether it was practice day or game day, he didn't take a day off. Josh always came to play. His effort and his drive to play his best stood out from the first day of tryouts until the final whistle of the season. Congratulations, Josh. All right, and at this time, I'd like to thank all the other guys, especially the 8th graders that are in this picture right here, moving on to high school. I'd like to thank the underclassmen as well. We'll have another chance to get back to our winning ways. Thanks for a great season, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Coach Prognall. You always do such an excellent job with these young men. All right, now we're going to be turning it over to Coach Curry and Murray girls basketball. Coach Curry, are you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm in. Biggest problem we had this year in basketball is trying to get me on this Skype call.
Glad you're here.
Thanks. First of all, I want to thank all the girls. It was truly a magical season. First undefeated basketball season, boys or girls, for Murray, and the first county championship for the girls. Girls, you didn't only open the door, you pretty much just knocked it down. I was looking back at the scorebook. Our closest game was 25 points this year. You guys made it tough on me. I had to find stuff on practice to actually complain about with you guys. You were so great. And just know, in a season in which a lot has been taken away from you, that you will always be the first forever girls basketball champions. And there's going to be a reminder of that when you go and look in the trophy case when you go back to Murray, or if you're still at Murray. All right, on to the awards. MVP value is something that's a difficult thing to define and to assess. There are a multitude of ways an individual can add value to a team, through vocal leadership, through quiet gestures of support for their teammates, through tactical awareness of the game and excellent performance. We were lucky to have a young lady, Brianna Stanley, who possessed all of those characteristics. She demonstrated leadership in every way and on the court and off, and we were very thankful to have her as our MVP this year. Next up was offensive MVP, and I cannot say enough good things about this. A gift was given to me when Kinsey transferred in this year as an 8th grader. My only regret is I didn't get to coach her more than just 1 year, but we certainly made the most of the 1 year. Kinsey was an engine that our offense always could count on, either to drive down the lane, to shoot foul shots. She was our leading foul shooter, or just three-point or playmaking in general. She is the epitome of the perfect teammate and grew as one of our biggest leaders on the court that the girls could go to and look up to. I cannot wait to see what things that you have in store for high school for next year. Congratulations, Kinsey. Defensive MVP is something we take particular pride on. Every day we run a drill called Diamond Press, and at the heart of this press was Maris Toppin. A lot of people see scoring in basketball, but so much of what we do is predicated off our defense and turning people over. Player that receives a defensive award has solid footwork, court awareness, and is able to wear down her opponent and make them tired during the course of the game into poor decisions. Maris embodied all of that through quiet leadership and sacrificing for the team. Congratulations, Maris. Finally, the Coaches Award, or what I call the Falcon Award, is the player that embodies what Murray basketball represents in my mind, the kind of the Murray way. You guys always hear me talk about Carolina way if you have me for class. Anna played many roles on the team, one of which was coach on the court, which isn't an easy job because she has to listen to me bark in her ear constantly about putting people in the right position. Anna had to play down low a lot of times when she really is more of a guard, but she went in there and she battled up with girls bigger than she was. She was a perfect teammate, getting people organized in layup lines and group text when we had like crazy weather situations. She was always the one that took charge, and we certainly were lucky to have her. So congratulations to Anna Benefield for this year's Coaches Award. Also, I wanted to mention too, I don't know if I did or not, I wanted to do special thanks to my assistant coach, Ava Toppin. 2 years ago, there was no worse feeling that I had than leaving Noble Middle School knowing that we had lost a championship to them. So it made it especially gratifying that you were a part of this year's championship. So thank you so much for all your help, Ava. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, girls, for an amazing season. I mean, talk about being the talk of the town. I mean, you could go anywhere in Wilmington and everybody knew about the Murray girls basketball team just because, like you said, y'all were just destroying the competition. The nickname, the Showtime Falcons, was just kind of thrown against the wall, and it stuck. But you guys definitely were a joy to watch. So thanks a lot, Coach Curry, and Coach Ava Toppin for all the great work you did with these girls. All right, at this time, I would just like to say to our spring sports athletes, you know, we knew, I think we got the word on Wednesday, which is when Winter 2 ended, that we knew that the 13th of March was going to be the beginning of a 2-week off period because of the pandemic. So we made a decision, myself, the coaches, and Mr. Sutton, to go ahead and do 2 days of tryouts. We appreciated everybody that came out. A lot of these tryouts were for extended times. Everybody gave their best efforts. And then in the end, you know, all we got were rosters because, you know, you guys weren't even afforded 1 day of practice. But it is impressive, and I'm glad that we did take the opportunity to select our baseball, boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and volleyball teams because you guys definitely earned your roster spot. And, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, kids. You know, this isn't going to last forever. And, you know, just know that all the hard work that you did to try out for your spring sports has been recognized by the Murray Falcon coaches and administrative staff. All right, this time we're going to do our Murray Individual Awards, FCA Awards, and then we're going to do the Female and Male Athlete of the Year before we turn it over to Mr. Sutton to shut it down. All right, Ms. Turner, you're going to come in and do our FCA Awards. Ms. Turner, are you still with us?
There we go. Thank you for reminding me I was on mute. All right. As you can tell from this picture, we still weren't able to get every kid into the frame of the picture. This year, our FCA has grown to the biggest it's ever been in the 8 years I've been doing FCA at Murray. FCA meets every Wednesday morning from 7:45 until 8:15, and these kids show up, and we have 70 to 80 kids every Wednesday morning to worship God. And it just shows in their faith. It shows all throughout the day. And they're just a light in our school, and I just love it. I had the pleasure this year of having Coach Bennett help me out because we had so many. I was like, I need help. Bennett volunteered whenever he wasn't doing bus duty. He was in there helping me out and everything. We had to use the whistle and stuff, but it made it so much fun. And I want to thank all the parents who donated food because all the other years, it wasn't quite as costly to donate food and stuff like that. So these parents that donated food all the time, I mean, they were filling out quite a bit of money to feed all these kids. So that makes such a huge difference. And I'm just so thankful for all the parent support and everything and all the student support. So the students that are getting these awards, they have led devotions this year and lessons in FCA. And that does say a lot about their faith, that they are willing to stand up in front of 80 of their school peers and lead them in a lesson on Christ and their faith. And that just shed so much light. And some of them also do it in their huddles that they do for practices and games, and they lead their groups in prayer. So it's just an honor for me to serve God in this way. So my first award is a teamwork award, and that's going to go to Anna Benfield. And I asked Murray staff that have worked with Anna and everything, because having 80 kids, I don't get to know them so personally and everything, but Anna's teachers have said that she's an awesome person, very hardworking, and also a leader. She works really well with others. Coach Herman noted that Anna is a team player. She could be right in front of the goal, but would pass the ball to someone else to score. She's a very unselfish soccer player and created a ton of opportunity for us instead of trying to hog the ball and do it all herself. So that says a lot about her faith too, in action on the field. My next one is a leadership award, and that goes to Nate Hall. Nate is an outstanding, responsible, kind, and hardworking young man. He is always thinking about others and doing his best to be a role model for other students. He's always willing to help, and he's a great teammate. He's kind, polite, and hardworking, and sweet as can be in classes. Teachers adore him. He would even jump in and share in FCA about how he felt like God was speaking to his heart during some difficult, challenging times he had this year with his injuries and things like that. So that says a lot too about him. It reflects his faith and shows great leadership. My third award is another leadership award. This goes to Madison Allman. So Madison did the most devotions and games in FCA for the year. She's an all-around great student to represent Murray because she has so much school spirit, not just for sports, but also for the arts and everything. And she's just an all-around great kid. She has worked with the junior athletic club and is always willing to help any teacher, any coach, or peer. She lives out her faith in everything she does. So I wanted to definitely recognize her. And then we have the FCA Integrity Award, and that goes to Maris Toppin. Maris always has a positive attitude. She's a great teammate. She lives out her faith throughout the school day and in the sports she plays. Coach Curry says she is full of humility and doesn't seek the spotlight, but that doesn't keep her from making large contributions to her team. She sacrifices individual accolades for the team and others. Her willingness to help out at a moment's notice and to help out with a smile on her face is one of the qualities that make her truly special. So again, I have loved being a part of FCA for the 8 years at Murray, and just love seeing how it's grown from 7 or 8 kids the first year and increasing so much to having this huge group every Wednesday.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach Turner. Thank you, Coach Bennett, as well. All right. Our next award is the 4 Sports Star Award. One of the benefits of having spring sports tryouts was we were able to justify giving our 4 Sports Star Award, an award that has been controversial in the past. We even talked about possibly doing away with it, but I actually surveyed a lot of the student athletes, and they said, no way. They said, this is like an award that we all strive for that really pushes us to do our best. So we decided to keep the 4 Sports Star Award, and we had 6 winners this year. Our first goes to Anna Benfield. She was cross country, soccer, basketball, and she made the lacrosse team. Congratulations, Anna. Our next winner is Kieran Bradley. She got it for cross country, soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. And KB Buckets, as we like to call her, is the first ever 6th grader to play 4 sports in a year for Murray. So congratulations, Kieran. The next is her sister, Maria. Maria is winning a 4 Sports Star for cross country, soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. So congratulations to you, Maria. Kylie Doyle wins it for softball, soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. Congratulations, Kylie. We appreciate all your hard work and effort. And our lone male winner for the 2nd year in a row is Chris Patsalis for cross country, basketball, soccer, and lacrosse. Congratulations to Chris on his 2nd 4 Sport Award. Maris and Anna, I forgot, also won it last year as well. So congratulations to all of our 4 Sports Star Award winners. Maris Toppin, cross country, soccer, basketball, and volleyball. Maris, I just said that she is a repeat winner. Sorry, I got a little bit ahead of myself in the slides, but Maris has done an excellent job here at Murray Forest. Congratulations, Maris, for all your hard work and efforts. All right, our next award is the Andy Newby Service in Sports Award. For those of you that remember Coach Newby, she was here a couple of years ago. Her husband was in the Coast Guard, so she's a teacher that moves around, usually stays 2 to 3 years in a location before she packs up and has to move off with her husband. But what not a lot of you know is just how amazing of a teacher and a coach that she is. She wins Teacher of the Year awards, it seems like, everywhere she goes. And, you know, I know teachers that have been teaching 20, 25 years that haven't won it once, and she wins them everywhere she goes. She's also the same way with coaching. You know, she was always willing to help anybody at any time. So we've named this award after her. And this year's winner of the Service in Sports Award goes to Ms. Kylie Jenkins. Kylie is a volleyball player at Murray. Kylie is just a super awesome kid. She's always willing to help. There was many times where a junior athletic club member would have went home sick, or, you know, let me know that, I can't come to the game today at the last minute. I always knew Kylie would fill in, no questions asked. So she is a great choice for this award. So congratulations, Kylie, on being our Andy Newby Service in Sports Award winner. All right, now we're going to do our two final awards, which are the Male and Female Athlete of the Year. We're going to start this year with the Male Athlete of the Year. I'm going to ask for Coach Ashley to share first, then Coach Bennett. And then Coach Bennett, if you'll turn it back over to me, I will present the award. So Coach Ashley, you're on.
All right, Male Athlete of the Year. I don't know what I could really say about this young man besides he is a fine young man. I guess the biggest compliment I could give a player like this is I don't care what pickup game I would be picking for. He's the first player I'm going to pick. I don't care what sport it is, because I know if he's on my team, he's going to compete. He's going to be positive. He's going to make his teammates better. He's going to be very knowledgeable about the game, again, no matter what pickup game we're playing. And I know basically if he's on my team, I'm going to win. He's just a great young man, and I couldn't be more proud for him. Coach Bennett?
All right, I think Coach Bennett has just texted me, said his computer may have frozen, but we had prepared for this. So I'll go ahead and share for Coach Bennett. Coach Bennett echoes a lot of the same sentiments of Coach Ashley, but wanted to point out that this young man was a leader on and off the court, led his team in scoring, was the guy he would try to get the ball to. He was the guy he tried to run the offense through. And ladies and gentlemen, our Male Athlete of the Year for the 2019-2020 season is Mr. Cohen Locklear. So congratulations, Cohen. You are most deserving of this award. You are a stand-up young man. Hopefully we'll be seeing you either in the NFL or the NBA. You're a good kid. You got a good head on your shoulders. Keep doing what you're doing. All right, we've got, for the first time in a while, we had our votes tie this year. And, you know, normally sometimes the rules are for us to meet as an administrative team and break the tie. But, you know, just as athletic director, you know, these two were literally, you know, they could be twins. All right, so I'm going to let Coach Bennett, Coach Herman, and Coach Curry share in that order. And then Coach Curry, if you will pass it back to me, and I will present our first Co-Female Athlete of the Year winner. So Coach Bennett says that this young lady just, you know, the will to win, just, you know, she ran through pain. He's texting me that she ran through a knee injury, that even though, you know, mom would reach out to him and say, you know, please don't let my daughter run today, that the daughter would always say, look, I can always ice it tonight. I know what I can do. And this kid was just awesome. All right, Coach Herman.
I'll see what I can say without divulging too much for the reveal. But basically, both of these athletes, I had the pleasure to coach both of them, and they're both so strong on their own, but also, so strong when they play together with each other. You could tell they've been playing together for a long time on certain, on teams. And I don't want to discredit both so fierce on the field. I'm pretty sure that if you ask any one of their teachers, they also take their education just as seriously as they do their athletics, which is important to note as well. And both just really great girls that I'm glad I got to coach 2 years in a row.
All right, Coach Curry.
Like Ms. Herman said, I actually coached and taught both of these young ladies, so I can attest for their excellence on the court and off the court. This particular person is a great leader and was one of the captains on our basketball team. There's no question at the end of games, she gave everything she had. She cared about all of her teammates and wanted to make sure things were going well. Her willingness to help out at a moment's notice and help with a smile on her face is one of the qualities that make her Female Athlete of the Year.
All right, thank you. So at this time, we would like to announce our 2019-2020 Co-Female Athlete of the Year. Ta-da-da. Miss Anna Benfield. Congratulations to Miss Anna Benfield. Not only is she a sports star and an FCA award winner, another kid that's just got a super great work ethic, super great attitude. She's just a fun kid to be around. She's got a great head on her shoulders. Anna, we look forward to seeing how far you're going to go in life. All right. For our next Co-Female Athlete of the Year, we'll go in that same order. Coach Bennett, I believe we've got you back.
We do.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, Cohen and Anna. I had nice things to say about you. So this next female athlete, she is the most humble girl I think I've ever coached. She has a tremendous amount of integrity. She works so hard. She is so well respected by her peers on and off any court she is on. And I think she is destined for greatness in her life in whatever sport she chooses. And I'll pass it over to Ms. Herman now.
I think I accidentally lumped them both into one little announcement before, but I kind of talked about both of them at the same time before. But this athlete, again, just a really great girl. I can only pretty much say the same stuff that Coach Bennett said. Very humble. Seeing her walk around the field, you'd never know. She was so great at what she does, and excited to see what she does in the future.
This Athlete of the Year has the complete package. She has a positive attitude for practice each day, is versatile on the court, and was willing and able to fill a variety of roles for our basketball team. Her quiet disposition never keeps her from making large contributions to a team at practice or in games. Her feistiness and commitment on the court toward defense, rebounding, and forcing opposing players into a poor play had a huge impact on our team and was vital to the team's success. It will be certainly exciting to see what she does in years to come.
All right, thank you. And our 2019-2020 Co-Female Athlete of the Year, Maris Toppin. Congratulations to you, Maris. Another just standout super kid, academically, athletically, personality-wise, just a great kid. I've always said that you and Anna could be twins. I mean, y'all look alike, you act alike, you're both great. So what an awesome honor for you two to share. I know you're really good friends, so I know you're obviously going to be both very happy for each other. All right, at this time, we're going to ask Mr. Sutton. Mr. Sutton, are you still around?
I am, yes, sir. Thank you, Coach Hager. I'd like to first just thank all the families out there right now. Thank you for trusting us and these coaches with your valuable possessions, your kids, because they are incredible reflections of you that are a joy to work with for our coaches and for us to just represent our school. And they do. They have represented us so well. And coaches, thank you for your investment, your time that you have given these students. You have given well beyond what you are compensated for because you care. You love what you do. You love these students, and you love these sports that you spend time with them on. And thank you for giving them yourselves and your knowledge and your appreciation for these games, because it's gonna make them better people and better athletes moving forward. Coach Hager, thank you. You are an amazing leader for not just athletes, but for our whole school, because of what you have done with our athletic program. It corresponds to the academic success that our students have and that our whole school has. That you have created a culture here at this school that people want to be a part of, and is well known throughout our district and our county. And so thank you for your investment and your leadership in athletics and making it what it is. And lastly, athletes, I want to say thank you to you, because I've reflected throughout as you guys have shown pictures and talked about each of these students. To create a culture where you've got two teams that had perfect seasons and won championships for the district. It really takes dedication from the students to be the best that they can be on the field, but more importantly in the classroom. And you have done that. We talk a lot about the 4 R's and representing our school with those things, and learning how to represent yourself with those characteristics. And you are those things for our school, and our school goes the way that you go, athletes. And if there's anything that this season that we're currently in right now has shown me, is that there's a kind of a 5th R that we don't talk about as much, but it's resilience and emotional resilience. And to have perfect seasons like you did, and to have the characteristics that your coaches just talked about, you've got to have that emotional resilience and on the court. And we've seen it on the field. We've seen it in the classroom. We've seen it. But even right now, during quarantine times, and not being able to take part in the things that you love the most, it takes emotional resilience to be able to have courage to say, you know what, I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to be able to do this next year, and I'm going to be able to do it maybe at a different level, and to have that strength inside to say, I know I can't right now, but I will. And so thank you for your leadership in our school, exemplifying those 4 R's and being resilient emotionally. Coach Hager, thank you for this opportunity to speak, and families, thank you for your students that you've allowed us to be with. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, as always, Mr. Sutton. Just a couple of things. Tomorrow, unless you hear differently from us, we are going to have an awards drive-through pickup for the athletes that won awards today from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. in the back of Murray, right behind the gym. We'll be set up. We'll be using social distancing. You will not get out of your cars. We'll simply bring you your child's awards, and you can go on your merry way. Also, for the rising 9th graders, physicals and concussion forms at that same time can be picked up, unless you hear differently from us. Same thing. We'll be using social distancing, and it'll simply be, we'll hand you your child's physical and concussion, because when you do get to the high school level, you will have to upload your own. It's not as easy as it is in middle school, simply handing it to the AD, but you've actually got to go through Arbiter and upload your own paperwork. Physicals and concussions are going to be granted an extra 365 days because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So if you were, rushing to think, oh, my child's physical is expiring, just know that the North Carolina High School Athletic Association voted to extend those by a whole another year. We do still have a couple of jerseys and pieces of equipment that are out. If you guys can get those back to the school, if you're coming to pick up your awards, you can bring them then. If you still have yet to clean out your child's locker, and you go at any of those designated times, anybody in the office knows how to take athletic equipment up for us. But please, we are going to need those back. And the big question I know you all have, unfortunately, we do not have any answers at this time. No decisions at all have been made in the very near future about fall sports or even sports in general for 2020, 2021. The second we hear something, we will let you guys know. We want to once again thank our sponsors. I mean, without you, as we go through these slides and you see these awesome uniforms, it's money from our sponsors that helps purchase a lot of that. Thanks again to all three of our principals. They're at every game. That's something that you don't see at all the other schools, but our principals actually, they like sports and they come to our games and they cheer us on, and that's always a big positive. I always like to thank our junior athletic club members. Those are the kids that are, slinging concessions and trying to upsell you on candy and stuff. Those kids are a big part of what makes our athletic club and department so successful. Thanks to all of our teachers. Murray teachers are the best. Not only are we, have a really great athletic program, but we're tops in the county when it comes to academics as well. And just know, guys, that your kids have the best teachers in the county. Thank you to the parents. You guys make sacrifices every day. If you got multiple kids, we know you're driving to multiple sites. We know a lot of our student athletes not only play school sports, but they play travel ball. So, you're picking them up from our practice to take them to another practice, to get them to our game, to get them to another game. So thank you, parents. Students, make sure you say thank you to your parents. Thanks to all the coaches. We've got a great staff at Murray. It certainly makes my job easier to have coaches that just do a great job. And, what sets them apart is they really, truly care about the student athlete. And that's like the number one thing we look for in a coach. And most of all, we want to say thank you to our student athletes. You guys, you're amazing. What you guys do on the field, on the courts, on the track, it's awesome. We all remember being your age, 12, 13, 14-year-olds. But you guys have a lot more stuff to deal with than we did. We didn't have the technology that you guys, have at your fingertips. And we know that that's changed the world for you youngsters. But to see that sports, is still there and still a driving passion is something we're all really super proud of. So stay safe, Falcons. And thanks for a great year. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see some of you tomorrow.